Hello, everyone on Facebook. Just we just got back from the movie theater. Just saw Black Panther. We're just doing a quick review, just a quick discussion. Basically, this is just going to be our reaction. Not going to get into spoilers, for a little bit. That's going to be a separate video. Basically, the movie was awesome. Like, I don't, what did you think? Like, okay, I'm moving this closer. I'm sorry. Moving this closer. I'm moving this a little closer. I need to get intimate. Okay.
Oh boy.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? I know y'all was waiting. I'm talking about Black Panther. Here it is. Here it is. Hi, Mia. What's going on? All right. I'm taking my head off. I was sweating the entire time watching the movie. The movie's awesome. Like, I can't, I got criticisms and stuff. It's good. If anybody's worrying, like, if it's just hype, the hype, yes, the hype is, like, I'm not trying to be funny. The hype is real, but, like, it's justified. It's justified hype. The movie is not perfect. It has a couple little flaws here and there and nitpicks that I have just as a film critic, but it did everything I wanted it to do. It's awesome. Arayna, your reaction, I guess, from it?
I don't know what you're talking about. The movie was everything, and it had everything, and it was perfect. It's perfection. It's black excellence and perfection and chocolate.
Nick?
I mean, I agree with Arayna. It was, for me at least, it was definitely perfect. I will admit that's because it's the first viewing.
Yeah. No,
I'm going.
This
to
is
see
your
it again.
reaction.
But
Your reaction is that it's perfect.
Yeah,
if you can get a perfect out of you, that's good.
Yeah,
that just goes to show you, like, that's like what
I needed. We all needed, frankly.
I'm just basically what I'm, like I said, this is spoiler free. I'm going to do a separate video where I go into a discussion about what it is. I mean, this is going to be a little less spoilery just because it is Thursday and you're going to see it at some point. So I'm not going to ruin nothing for you. I mean, I literally, like, just to give you an example, I could tell you everything about the movie. It is a visual feast. Like, I've been watching every trailer and every interview about this movie, seeing it all come together. Like, you are in awe the entire time because no matter who you are, no matter what you like in life, or no matter what walk of life you come from, this is something no one has seen before. I've never seen, like, I love action movies, I love comedies, I love all Marvel movies, action movies, and it's funny, everybody keeps saying, like, Black Panther is the first black superhero movie. No, it's not. It is not the first black superhero movie. I don't consider it the first black superhero movie. I consider Shaft to be a superhero movie. Like, that's how I think of different, as far as, black film. There has never been anything of this quality dealing with something that isn't just connected to black people. Like, this is a Marvel film. This is something that's already connected to a huge universe, a billion-dollar universe. Mm-hmm. And while you're watching the movie, there are certain moments where, and people, as crazy, I've been watching reviews, and people say this, but, like, I understand now. There are times where, like, wow, this is a Marvel movie. Like, there were times, like, you have to remind yourself you're watching a Marvel movie at times, because, like, this movie hits you emotionally. Like, it's not, there are emotional moments in all types of Marvel movies, but this movie, like, because of its subject matter, hits you. And it doesn't stray away from being real. And please.
Yeah. I actually forgot I was watching a Marvel movie for a second, because I'm just like, there's no way white people wrote this, had a hand in this. Like, this is us.
It's not, and it's not. That is exactly how you feel. Like, you can't believe that. Like, there was somebody, any person that's not black that was sitting up there with a bunch of money. Like, no, go ahead. That's
right.
Go ahead. Yes, absolutely. Yes, do that with that theme.
Right.
It's. Oh man, please.
I said what I needed to say. It was everything. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. I couldn't even react. Like, I needed to hear and see everything. So I was just glued to the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, just amazing. Everything.
Okay. So I mean, I cried with like freaking trailers. Like at the first trailer I saw, the first trailer with Run the Jewels in it, and everybody lost their mind.
Yep.
Like I got choked up because I was like, oh snap, like that. Whoa, I never saw anything like that before.
I couldn't even cry. I was like, nope, I'm gonna fuck it up. I gotta hear everything. I gotta see everything. Can't have tears. Nope.
I had to calm myself down because, like, I got worked up I got worked up twice to the point I was like, oh, wait, what? No, what did you say? Like, I can't, like,
that first trailer were just like, yes, they did it right. They didn't fuck it up. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is what we needed.
Because it was like, watch all the trailers again. Like, if you have a minute, go back and watch the first teaser trailer. Like, when Andy Serkis is sitting down, he says, what do you know about Wakanda? And then Martin Freeman's like, oh, it's just a third world country, blah, blah, blah. That is it's a theme of the movie. Like, the movie, I hate to be saying stuff that I heard other people say, but like, it's called Black Panther, but it could be called Wakanda. Like, it's Wakanda the movie. It's introducing you to the world of Wakanda and how it works and how it functions. And it's funny because, like you were saying, you have to remember that you're watching a Marvel movie. The only time you remember it's a Marvel movie is when some, like, gadgets pop up and you're like, oh man, that is like something you would see in a oh yeah. Like, it's like,
right, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, damn, I'm fuck.
Right,
Black Panther, he's a Marvel character. Right. Like, it's crazy because you say that, like, you have to remember it's a Marvel movie.
Right.
But once it's done, you're like, yeah, that was a Marvel movie. It's a good quality Marvel film. It doesn't take away from the rest of the universe. It is a spotlight film. It is, it's about this central character. So, I mean, this is no spoilers, but you're not, like, Captain America doesn't jump in and say, hey, I'm gonna help you out with this fight, and Hulk doesn't jump in. It's not in that way. It's not like there are different Marvel movies where they may make mention of something or they may talk about something that happens in here, obviously, because the movie does take place like very close to the events of Civil War. So like they touch on that. Like, this is, T'Challa's father died in Civil War. He found out who actually did it, brought them to justice. It's literally starting off with him coming back home. So it was I'm sorry, Tag. See, I'm getting stuck because I just thought about this. Oh god!
Yeah,
I'm getting worked up again because, like, I'm thinking about, like, oh god. Okay, I'm sorry. So it takes place like not too long after Civil War. So it does feel like it's in a real place in the Marvel Universe, especially with Everett K. Ross, Martin Freeman's character.
Right.
Don't think that the two white actors in this movie are just the white people in this movie. They're good. Like, everybody in this movie is good. Everybody in this movie is good. Everybody gets a time to do something without it seeming too bogged down or corny.
Right.
Everybody got a moment to shine. Like,
I would honestly say there were no bad performances in this movie as far as acting goes. There's nobody who was
No.
like, oh, I don't want to see you on screen anymore.
Yeah, like, oh, can we hurry up? Like,
Right, can we just get through can we get back to the guy in the cat suit? Because you're just taking up too much screen time. No, I didn't feel that way at all about anyone.
After the movie, like, once it goes off, it was funny, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, Chadwick Boseman, I'm looking at his name, and I'm like, you know what's funny, I'm thinking of all his scenes, and I'm not saying that he's not in it a lot. He is in it. It's his movie.
Right.
But it's the time that you spend with each character, even small characters. Like, everybody has a character arc.
Yeah. All of them. And not...
Shit.
And a well-done character arc that actually, for the most part, come to fruition for everyone. It's not just this thing that gets mentioned and then gets dropped for the rest of the movie and you never see them again.
I feel like you get to know everybody, pretty much.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Even people you don't see a lot in the trailers, even people that you don't like, you see in a trailer, you're like, oh man, they're good supporting characters. There are actors that you forget are in this movie. That once they pop up, you're like, oh yeah, you're in it. 2 minutes later, you're crying. Like, it's like, you...
Right.
Pardon my language. Fuck you, Sterling K. Brown. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. Sterling K. Brown. You are a terrible, terrible person. You are one of the best actors in Hollywood. Like, you are one of the best actors in Hollywood. I put Sterling K. Brown in his interviews in 2 different videos that I did about Black Panther. Forgot he was in the movie. Remembered that he was in it after, like, the movie started and I saw him. I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait, this is who you're playing.
Yep.
I'll say this, not as a spoiler. Sterling K. Brown is in it. I'll say, like, screen time. He has about 3... And that's pushing it. 3 minutes of on-screen time. And I would recommend him for an Oscar for supporting role. Like, just because, and not to say he should win it, but, like, supporting character, like, he could, just for what he present. God damn it! Sorry,
yeah. Yeah.
This movie is good. This movie, it deserves the hype that's coming out for it. I believe there are people that will have complaints about it. There are people that will have criticisms. I feel like those criticisms are fine. This is not a perfect movie. This is not a perfect movie. This is not an A+ movie. This is not a 5-star movie because it, as movies have to function, it has its... No, you go to bed, Tyler. As movies have to function... As they have to function, you know, there are certain things, no movie is perfect. For it being the 18th movie in a line of films, for it being another comic book movie in the recent years of a huge influx of comic book films, period, it has found a way to set itself apart from comic book movies, to also be a part of a bigger story of comic book movies, and to also set the bar for comic book movies. I don't know how the fuck you do that all in one movie. Like, you had 2 hours to do all that. You did it. You got themes. This movie had, like, moral themes that you find in, like, PBS shows. Like, I don't know how the fuck they did some of the stuff they did, man. Like,
just amazing writing and, like, the studio not going, this is the movie you will make, this is our money, this is what you will do. No, it's creative freedom that is given to people who know what to do with it and who have respect for the character and the story that character came from. That's the most important part that I think about Marvel movies, is they find directors and writers and actors who respect, and in a lot of cases, love these characters.
Yeah, love these characters enough that even if you... Because every movie that adapts a comic book or whatever, it does have to change the source material, but it all depends on how much you're respecting that source material when you're reworking it.
Right.
I was freaking out next to Arayna in the theater like the entire time, like somebody said something or they did something on screen. Like Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige said that they pulled from just about every run of Black Panther, from Jack Kirby to Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is one of the current runs.
Mm.
Christopher Priest, Reggie Hudlin, like all these different times of the Black Panther writing, they're not lying. Like, if you are a Black Panther fan at all, you're going to see something in this movie from a comic that you read, or a theme. Like, from every minute, there are sequences that I can't talk about, but they are from the comic. The reason why I just stopped, because I was just like, dang, we have to talk about Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my god. I would easily put him in the top 5 as far as Marvel villains go. Like, I didn't expect him to be that good.
Okay, you said top 5 Marvel villains, and I'm not trying to show you up. Who are they then?
Frankly, for me,
you said top 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in these top 5, who is he?
I'd give him number 3 actually. Mm-hmm. Only behind Loki at number 1, mm-hmm. and oh god, Hell at number 2.
Yeah, I would see. I'd put him at number 2 because
really
the reason why I would put Killmonger at number 2, and I was thinking of this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I would put Killmonger at number 2, without getting into spoilers about Eric Killmonger, because he is he is far more of an intricate character as far as how he was written than you would assume.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I was worried he was just going to be generic, destroy the world Marvel villain,
or opposite man,
right.
Because you saw,
because I saw him in the suit and I was just like, oh, it's
right.
another Marvel movie where the hero fights somebody with the same powers.
Yeah,
and I mean,
as far as adapting a character, like they did that makes perfect sense. Eric Killmonger in the comics, the first Eric Killmonger, he walked around in white tights with spiky red boots, and he had a whip with a spike on it, and he had a long flowing jerry curl.
Yeah, he did.
Y'all, if you wanted that to be on screen, fine, okay, whatever.
Right,
but
sure,
but
everybody.
But there's also a run where Eric Killmonger actually becomes Black Panther because he does defeat T'Challa, and he rolls up to Avengers Mansion like, hey, yeah, I got my Avengers pass. I know I'm the new Black Panther, so yeah, it's me. And anyway, I would put him as my number 2 just because, as far as when it comes to villains, everybody says it, you have to have a clear goal of what the heck it is you're trying to do. Loki, out of the entire MCU, you know what it is about Loki. You may not know what his plan is, but you know it's always about him at the end of the day. Whatever it is about him, and it's about his goal and what he's trying to achieve. Even if it's just like, if it's not well written or is not well thought out, you know what Loki is thinking. You know that if he's being a certain way, he may turn on you, and that's why it's always that twist. As far as motivations, it's like, okay, your motivation is just to be bad. You're evil, you want to, gain whatever it is you want to gain, but, that's what it is. Hela, yeah, I thought Hela was awesome. I liked her, her revenge of like, oh, I was locked away, now I'm back to take what's mine, the way that we used to do it. I liked seeing that, but I didn't really get much from Hela. Hela was a tool for the film, and that was fine. Mm-hmm. If I don't see Hela ever again, I won't be upset.
Right.
Eric Killmonger, or Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger, as far as a on-screen comic book villain or a villain an antagonist, period. He is by far one of the more fleshed out villains we have ever seen in a comic book movie in a very, 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 very long time. Heath Ledger's Joker was, that's the one everybody goes to. It's like, oh man, he was the greatest comic book villain, all these, yada, yada, yada. I have my complaints about Heath Ledger's Joker. Like, even when I first saw it, I had my complaints. But as far as, like, somebody, when they're on screen, you just don't want to take your eyes off of them and you feel the menacing, whatever. I haven't felt that in a long time. I felt that in Killmonger. And Michael B. Jordan as an actor, I'm kind of, sometimes I feel this way, sometimes I feel that way. But, I feel like ultimately he is a good, the man does a good job every time he's in a film. He is a hard-working actor. Holy shit, this man did some acting with this. And it's funny because he's acting really well. And what threw me off is that at times I was like, is he being corny? I was like, oh no, he's being villain campy.
Yeah.
And when he's villain campy, like when he's like, oh, I'm the Marvel villain, like this, that playing up Marvel villain stuff, he'll take a moment to hit you with some real shit, and you're like, fuck. Like, and it just takes you off. Like, he says some shit in this movie that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is a Marvel film. Like,
the last thing he ever says.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
wow, okay.
I'm getting goosebumps. Like, that was...
Look,
Yo!
Like we said outside the theater. You're a villain. I'm not supposed to like you this much.
And I have a villain complex. Like, I like bad guys in movies just because, like, you gotta like bad guys.
Right.
I was like, Like,
I almost wanted him to win. It's like, you have a point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just...
You're the one.
You're like, do you Killmonger? How are you feeling about Killmonger? You got any Killmonger? No.
She's overwhelmed.
She don't even like Michael B. Jordan.
Done with you, Michael.
Because you're just like
Yeah. You've
never agreed with a villain this much.
Right.
Like I don't think a lot of people will. I don't think a lot of people will be as connected or as sympathetic to a villain's goal as much as Eric Killmonger. Like, that, especially in the MCU as far as what we have so far.
Right.
Even Loki, with, why Loki is upset and what happened to him, being a Frost Giant's child and, that being hidden away and that being the reason... It's like, yes, that being his origin, it does help you kind of understand why he's being so mean.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to be watching a movie called Black Panther, and for you to have the villain's story, like, his story is there. Like, his whole story is there. There's... I'm trying... This is a reaction. I think, like, probably later I'm going to think about it more and, like, nitpick what he did. Everything in this movie can be nitpicked, but I
right.
can't. He did a fantastic job. Music.
Oh, goodness, the music. I've heard some people who are just, like, really concerned because they thought, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of, like, modern rap and it's going to be gross and it's going to be stupid. Right.
Me!
Yeah.
And I like the album. Like, the album was fine, but I'm still, like, I don't want to hear Kendrick Lamar the entire time. Right. I don't want to listen to Kendrick Lamar the entire time I'm watching Black Panther.
Right.
When I saw the first trailer, like I said earlier in this, I got emotional. Like after my 8th time watching it, I was like, I know this is just a trailer, but, like, I hope it's not just a whole bunch of hip hop. Like, I was like, I do want to hear African music.
Yeah.
Second trailer comes along. It's Vince Staples. And I was like, Okay.
Right, a bit more of a message there.
Where's the African music for the African king?
Right.
And then they were like, okay, Kendrick Lamar is doing an album. I'm like, okay, fine. He's not doing the score. He's doing the album. Cool.
Right.
The person who did the score for Black Panther is a white person. His name is Ludwig Jorgensen, and he's the person who produced the Childish Gambino album. The last Childish Gambino album. So, if you like Redbone, that person scored Black Panther. And it's amazing. Like, the score in this movie is amazing. The background music in this movie, like, we weren't even in a high quality theater. Like, we went to see a standard showing. It had regular surround sound. Anytime drums started in this movie, like, whether it was for something sweet, whether it was for something heartbreaking, whether it was for an action scene, oh my god!
Yeah, it was amazing. And anytime some sort of rap music popped up,
it was perfect.
Yeah, it went with what was happening.
It went with the scene.
Yeah,
and I was like, fine. Like, it was like, you did, okay, good, okay. Thank you, Kendrick. You knew what you were doing.
Right.
Good job, Kendrick Lamar.
I'm so sorry I doubted you.
You're so sorry. So sorry I doubted you at all. And your music being a part of this. Thank you for putting your music in this.
Right.
Because, damn. Like, oh my god. Like, oh god.
That was the first thing I know. Like, as soon as T'Challa showed up and that music started playing, I was like, yes, okay, this is where we're going with this, and I'm happy. Good.
I'm trying to think of different people's criticisms. People said that this is like Marvel's, this is the MCU's James Bond movie. Mm-hmm. That's definitely present. This is Chadwick Boseman is the MCU's James Bond. Like, he is.
Yeah.
He like,
smooth as
Tony
butter.
Tony Stark is like Tony Stark is Tony Stark. You can't. That's who he is. Like, you can't compare him to anything else. Like, that's all Tony Stark. If anybody is like that smooth, debonair, like, sexy, which he is.
Yeah. Unabashedly.
Dude sexy. Like, dude sexy. Like, he's on screen. You gotta be happy about the person that is on screen being your hero.
Yeah.
Dude takes it. Like, he embodies a hero. He embodies a hero in ways that there are times where it's funny because he doesn't talk that much.
No.
He doesn't talk that much. He says a lot with his face. Like, Chadwick Boseman can say so much with just his freaking eyeballs that, like, you're like, okay, you man, you got it. You know what you're doing. Like, he...
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't need a lot of dialogue. Anytime he spoke, it was exactly what was needed and nothing more. And then the rest of the time, he just needed to emote. And that's all you needed in order to communicate what was happening in the scene. That's the best way to put that. He just... Yeah.
So... it's time to talk about the best thing in the entire movie. The thing that is going to probably be the thing that makes this movie's money. Every woman. I'm getting every woman in this movie.
All of them. Across the board.
All of the women in this movie are awesome. They are all sexy. It sucked. I'm talking. Uncle Sean. It was terrible. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It was terrible. All the women in this movie are fantastic. They are inspirational without being like, it's not smacking you upside the head. Like, I hate saying so many things that sound like, yeah, I'm black, I'm a person of color, it impacted me because I'm a person of color and black people, yada yada yada. No matter who you are as a person, This movie is going to inspire you in some type of way through character arcs. Every woman in this movie displayed strength without it being corny, without it being obvious, without it being like, okay, we got to make sure that we write down that women in this movie are strong and beautiful and independent.
Right.
It's just the characters. There are characters in this movie that are independent and still have to have an arc of independence. And it's perfect. Like, nobody overshadows the other. Angela Bassett, she plays the queen. She is the queen of the film.
Yeah.
She doesn't have action sequences. She doesn't do a bunch of punching or fighting or anything. She has a character arc. And she is a strong character. Mm-hmm. And you are just engulfed in every moment that she's on screen. Like, the best fighter, you already know what I'm about to say.
I don't know what you're about to say.
The best action sequences in this movie come from Denai Guerrera. She is a badass.
Yeah.
Anybody who saw the Infinity War trailer and was like, is that her in the, like, why is she with the other Avengers? Cause they all saw this movie and was like, yo, can we give her a contract for like 8 more films? Like,
Alright, Black Widow, move over for a sec.
We don't need a Black Widow. I mean, you can do a Black Widow movie, but if Okoye ain't in it, it don't matter. Like,
I mean, to give the perfect example, that scene in Civil War where she sees Black Widow and straight up tells her,
now wait. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So, that's not Denai Guerrera. Everybody for the longest time after that movie came out, and since she was announced to be Okoye, and saying that she was going to be the guard, that's not who that was.
Really?
So, if you go back and you see, I'm getting emotional just because I know who it is, and she's in the movie, and she's a fucking boss. So, if you go back and watch the movie, you'll see that woman is slightly taller and slightly more muscular than Denai Guerrera. That is Florence Kasumba. She is the woman when they walk off the ship and Denai Guerrera is like, oh, take her to the place to go, have the ceremony. She's like, yes, General. She's the taller one that's darker.
Right.
That's the one who was like, move or you will be moved.
Jeez.
Exactly.
So all of
you
them.
remember her, what she fought in.
Yeah.
Why she. So they all badasses.
Oh yeah.
All the Dora Milaje are badasses. Like, all the women in the movie are fantastic. They are strong. Lupita Nyong'o's Nakia.
Yeah.
She is the love interest, and it's funny at the moment in the movie where it's like, oh, she's the love interest. So at some point, she's the girlfriend of T'Challa. They have that moment where they're like, oh yes, we're together. Signs of affection. Mm-hmm. You're like, because you're just like, wait, she's a strong woman, but she's in love. I forgot
I forgot that was possible.
My gender possibility. I don't know what's. I'm freaking out. What's going on?
She's in love with the main character, but doesn't need him to run in and save her.
What? The, I don't know what's. I'm confused. What am I supposed to? My male.
Useless?
I don't know what to think. It's and then oh my! I can't wait. So my daughter Nellie, I can't wait till she sees it because. Shuri is
Shuri.
So there's been question of whether or not Shuri is T'Challa's sister. She's the one in the trailer with the gauntlets. There's been a question of whether or not everybody's like, oh, she's as smart as Tony Stark because she makes all the technology in Wakanda.
Yeah, that's apt.
No, it ain't. They said that she is as smart as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Did you see the technology in that movie?
I definitely saw technology.
So you think she's as smart? You think that her and Tony Stark are at the same level? Because I think Shuri kind of... She is a teenage girl.
Really?
She came up with the trains and
I gotta be honest, I didn't realize she was a goddamn teenager, the way she carried
She's
herself
his
in the movie.
little sister. She's supposed to be 19.
She was carrying herself like she was damn near 30 in the movie.
Because she's African royalty.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
She is smarter than Tony Stark. So we have a character. If you like the gadgetry and all of the technology and the all the stuff that Tony Stark does, we now have a young African child that is the kind of at the same level. Like, there's technology in this movie that is nothing like you have seen in any movie that isn't about the future and space. Like, it wasn't just like they came up with Wakandan technology is something that is, they made it completely fantastical, but at the same time, they explain it to a point where it's like, damn, it's not so remarkable that it doesn't make sense that it like takes you away from it.
Right.
Like, it's not just like, oh, they could just do any old damn thing. Once they explain how they were able to come up with their technology and how they worked it and how they utilized the fuck. Even that's making me emotional because it's like that the way they display their. I'm gonna end this review with one word: pride.
Perfect word.
This movie is so proud, like, of its, like, it's so full of pride, and it's funny. It's when you, if you see me saying that, you think it's like, oh, it's black pride or it's black. It is about pride. No matter who you are as a person, you can, if you have family, if you are a sibling, if you are a father, if you are a grandparent, if you are a cousin,
yeah,
if you're an uncle, if you're like, I'm not